The amount of CO2 a tree will offset depends on many factors, such as the type of tree, where it is planted, and the amount of room it has to grow. On average, one broadleaf tree will absorb in the region of 1 tonne of carbon dioxide during its full lifetime, approximately 100 years. Broadleaf trees are indigenous to the UK. Per square metre, it's hard to measure the CO2 offset due to ranging densities of forests, whereas sedum is planted on green roofs and density is a controlled factor. At this moment, we do not know exactly how much CO2 sedum is able to absorb. But because of the great amount of sedum leaves per metre squared, we expect this number to be considerable. However, an initial 2-year study carried out by Michigan State University in 2009 found that a sedum roof absorbed 190 grams per square metre of CO2 over a year. From this, we can calculate that 50 square metres of sedum absorbs 9,500 grams per annum. Medium-sized cars generate 1.64 tonnes of CO2 per year, based on a car travelling 10,000 miles per year. We need approximately 9,000 square metres of sedum per car, or roof gardens with broadleaf trees. Green roofs are an important component of SUDS, Sustainable Urban Drainage Systems. There is often a requirement to attenuate water that has been shed from roofs into the drainage system. It's a fact that a typical green roof absorbs and evaporates 50% of the rainfall that falls on the roof. This rate of absorption reduces the pressure on drains and reduces the likelihood of localised downstream flooding. The picture on the screen shows typical flooding in Sheffield. Specifying a green roof can mean that air conditioning can be reduced or avoided altogether, saving energy and reducing greenhouse emissions. From the infrared photography, you can see how a green roof is much cooler than conventional exposed sections of the roof. Green roofs can make a considerable contribution to conservation of biodiversity. It's important to include mixtures of drought-tolerant native wildflowers plus sedums and grasses. Some plants are particularly invaluable to some types of invertebrates, such as bees. There is also evidence of rare birds using green roofs, for instance the black redstart. Careful consideration needs to be taken regarding two main forces when designing a green roof. Firstly, the wind uplift force acting on the system. In order to restrain the roof against wind uplift, the dry weight of the module or mat must be known and must be greater than the effective maximum force when calculated in accordance with BS 6399 or EN 1991. No one wants a roof blowing off. Secondly, the overall weight of the system. The roof structure must be capable of withstanding the wet weight of the system, i.e. saturated mat and growing medium, as well as water-filled cuspated drainage cups. There has been much conjecture regarding a minimum weight or minimum depth of growing medium. However, in view of the variety of systems, plant species, locations, such as town, country, or coastal, each and every installation should be assessed separately. The only hard and fast figure identified by GROW, the Green Roof Organisation, is for an extensive roof a minimum of 80 mm of growing medium, and for an intensive roof typically 200 mm. The most popular types of green roof are built-up or modular. A built-up green roof affects the components, the construction of the roof and the building itself. It requires careful construction because if the waterproofing is penetrated, repair is a costly exercise. A built-up bespoke roof offers a multitude of permutations to include indigenous plant life or existing turf sods from the locality. The advantages of a built-up system is that it can be constructed on-site around complicated roof designs. It's also last-minute application. There's no need to pre-grow anything. The advantages of the modular system are pre-grown, established plants. They're lightweight, they're easy to install, there's a limitless plant choice, and the modules are removable. A built-up green roof is constructed wholly on site. It blends into location or hillside. On screen is the RIBA award-winning home at Mannerton, Devon. The photo shows one of 3 roof coverings, approximately 250 square metres. This beautiful bird's eye turf roof blends perfectly into the surrounding area. The modular green roof has dramatically increased in popularity for a number of reasons. Its lightweight structure allows more roofs to be greened than with a built-up system. Plants are pre-grown in a nursery for around 9 months, so they're well established. This means less risk of wind erosion in crucial early months. They need no watering as there is continuous irrigation. Hardy sedum plants are the best option, but sedum wildflower mixes are very common. Other bespoke indigenous vegetation options are available. There is limitless plant choice. Some city boroughs can even specify indigenous planting mix requirements by postcode. Modules are easy to install and individually removable for later roof inspections. A 4-in-1 modular green roofing system speeds up installation time dramatically, as only one visit is required on site to install. The module's edges interlock to ensure secure and regular fitting. A modular product provides instant cover and colour. If, at a later date, a roof inspection is required, the vegetation carriers can be simply lifted, set aside for roofing works to commence, and then laid back into position on completion. So why the Westfield Living Wall? Green innovation was at the forefront of design for London's largest shopping centre, and the Westfield Living Wall is actually a roof over a car park below. Today, it creates a spectacular effect both day and night. The Westfield Living Wall provides a relaxed and beautiful setting for shopping and dining. It helps suppress dust and potential noise to help the local community. It creates a diverse wildlife habitat and welcome shade for all, helping cool the upper terrace in the summer. Westfield chose a modular pre-grown living wall for instant impact. There are over 200,000 plants on 5,000 panels covering some 1,250 square metres. There are 9 different types of planting, with 4 or 5 types of plant in each panel. Some other trivia includes the living wall is watered 154 times a year. The plants are pruned and liquid fed twice a year, in early spring and late summer. But most importantly, there are 2 more living walls planned for Westfield Shopping Centre. Rainwater harvesting can be very cost effective. Collecting water can deliver substantial savings as metering of water is spreading. Water resources are being stretched, particularly across the southeast. A system can contribute to a higher BREEAM rating. Rainwater harvesting systems drain water off the roof via the gutter into a water butt. Water butts can be stored on the roof, gravity-fed systems, or at ground level, pressurised systems. A combination system involves using a pump to feed the lower level header tank, and then water is gravity-fed from tank to point of use. There are advantages over pressurised systems, including not having to run a pump constantly. Water is filtered via physical filter systems. UV filtration can also be used as an optional extra. Varying degrees of filtration are needed, as per the requirements for captured water. Filtration is especially important if runoff from a green roof is used. There are 3 main methods of energy generation in roofing: photovoltaic, light to generate electricity; solar thermal, light to generate hot water; and air source heat pumps. Each is currently government incentivised, but the design should minimise roof penetrations.